Here, of course, with more bad news. Christian McCaffrey out for the season. Dalvin Cook torn labrum confirmed. What does that mean for Dalvin Cook? It's not good. You might think, okay, the report says may not be season ending, but we'll talk about that. This guy, however, is out for the season, and you need to make sure Chuba Hubbard isn't on waivers right now. This is why we talked about trading Christian McCaffrey before this happened again. People with two players that they got in a package for Christian McCaffrey are now sitting pretty walking into the remainder of the season. And now we're left to discuss, where do you even consider drafting Christian McCaffrey in 2022? Where do you consider drafting him? Does anybody in the chat right now really think they're going to draft Christian McCaffrey in the top 5 next year and feel comfortable with that kind of investment when 2 seasons in a row he has left you hanging? And then we get a lot of the people that I guarantee you won't be back in the chat that go, Smitty, stop talking about Christian McCaffrey this way. He's the running back one. Running back one what? He's not playing. He's out for the year. Again, we can't trust him. It's nothing personal. I'm not cheering on injury, but he can't be trusted. His body has endured too much. The workload is real. The workload breaks down the running back. This man has been the highest percentage of any player in his offense in the last 5 years. And it was inevitable that he was going to break down again. Let's break down all that and more. The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Smitty.
Take a lap.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Smitty. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. Horrible news. Dalvin Cook torn labrum. Christian McCaffrey done for the season. And I will put I'll put these graphics on screen of the actual news reports. We'll go over them together. Time for the news.
And now for the news.
For those of you that were able to get rid of Christian McCaffrey, you did good. You did good. And some of you were ridiculed for it. Some of you were told, oh, don't listen to Smitty. Now, we got to talk about Dalvin Cook in a second, because Dalvin Cook, this is not good news either. But here's Christian McCaffrey, the breaking news on McCaffrey. Panthers Christian McCaffrey ankle on injured reserve, ruling him out for the remainder of the season. McCaffrey has already been on injured reserve once this season due to the hamstring injury. Players who are put on injured reserve a second time are not allowed to return, meaning the second stint ends 2021 for Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey suffered an ankle injury in the fourth quarter. He appeared to roll his ankle in the first half of the Week 12 game against the Dolphins. He's done. Where do we draft him in 2022? I don't know about you, but I'm not touching him in the top 5. Maybe top 10, maybe first round. I don't know where I would take him, to be completely honest with you. And where are the people that kept saying they'll be back? I'll be sorry for all my trade McCaffrey talk. Where are you? I'm waiting. I'm looking. I don't see it. I don't see anybody yet. What's up, Kenny? Kenny, where you been, bro? Where you been? Javonte season. Javonte Williams looks so good. Why don't they feed him free? Javonte, free him. So McCaffrey, I would like to know where you guys drafting him. Everybody right now in the chat, put the pick number that you would take him. If it's 10 overall, 7 overall, 4 overall, 2 overall, 3 overall, 15 overall, never. Put it in the chat, and I will throw all of your votes up on the screen, and we will discuss it So hit me with it. 1 point. Come on, bro. Come on. You got to be out of your mind. 1.02? Are you serious? Over Najee in the top 5 after what he continues to do, bro? Come on. I mean, I respect it, okay? I respect it. I'm not gonna go at your answer. I asked you for your honest answer, and that's fine. 3.1, 9 overall, never. 2.1 is the first time I'll think about it. I don't disagree with that. 18, end of the first round, pick 10, 25 overall, 5 for CMC. We've only got one person in the top 5. And how funny this question is, when we asked this question a week ago, it was 3, 1, 2. This guy can't stay healthy. He can't stay healthy. It's not his fault. It's not like he's a player that can't stay healthy by nature. It's by volume. It's by the course of a player getting overutilized. His body's breaking down. He can't absorb the hits anymore the same way. Guys, this is not like random freak occurrences. Okay? You have to understand something. Spawn says top 5. That's another. So we got very, very few. Very, very few top 5. I think we got 1, 2, maybe 3 people out of I'd say 20 comments that came in that said inside the top 5. But for Spawns and anybody else that thinks this guy's worth a top 5 pick, hello, Dynasty owner. Nice to meet you. Number 2, it's not going to happen. He cannot stay healthy. His body is not able to stay healthy because he's endured so much volume, and he's a running back, and he's getting to an age. I don't care about 30 years old anymore. That was in the 1980s, okay? You could be a starting elite running back until 30 years old, Smitty. Smitty, the drop off for running backs 30 years old. Don't you know that? That's 1980, Bob. 1980. Okay, it's different now. You can break down at 26 and a half years old, 25 and a half years old. It literally doesn't matter about how old you are anymore. It only means if you do make it to 30, you will drop off. But you can break down before 26 years old very quick. It depends on volume. Have you endured, and especially when you were a player in fantasy football that is enduring the kind of volume that's making you top 1, 2, or 3 overall in a fantasy football draft, that is a whole different ball game. You're talking about volume that is overwhelming. And when a player is the number 1 or number 2 or number 3 or number 4 overall pick in fantasy football, that player overwhelmingly has a disadvantage of staying healthy, because that volume is crazy. That volume is out of control. That volume is not normal. That volume will break you down. If you are a player in fantasy football going 1, 2, 3, 4 overall, you will have a shorter career in fantasy football in the NFL as a starting elite running back, because the volume's massive. The volume is massive and it's different. You're overutilized. Your body's going to break down. It's different taking a hit and having 300-pound linemen drive you into the ground. You're talking about knee injuries. You're talking about ankle. With Christian McCaffrey, he's enduring not even some of the injuries you would expect him to be enduring, like the knee injuries, which would probably come next year. Mark my words. If McCaffrey's taken high next year, you're most likely not only looking at a bunch of this same old stuff you're looking at this year and last year, but you're looking at potentially knee injuries and things like that will come in 2022. Stay clear from McCaffrey in 2022. I'm telling you, it's not a good move. Now on to Mr. Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook, this report right here by NFL Network. MRI results showed that Dalvin Cook suffered a torn labrum. This is not good, and I'll explain why. A torn labrum and separated shoulder in week 12. Rappaport said the injury is not considered season-ending, though we still don't have a time frame on how long Cook will be sidelined. Cook suffered a similar injury near the end of 2019 and returned to his workhorse role in the playoffs against the Saints. Those who smartly rostered Alexander Mattison. Those who smartly... Is Alexander... Should I pick up... Hey, Smitty. Alexander Mattison's available. Should I pick him up or go make a ham sandwich first? Should I make a ham sandwich, Smitty, or pick up Pollard, Alexander Mattison? The fact that he's available in your league, you should be ashamed of yourself. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Take a look.
If available in your league, you should be a little bit ashamed of yourself. Just an itty bitty shame, a little bit of shame. I mean, how do you leave Alexander Mattison on waivers when we only talk about him being a league winner all the time? And Chuba Hubbard, back to McCaffrey real quick, you need to make sure you pick him up. He didn't exactly blow up when he was leaned upon. So it's not like he had that Alexander Mattison, Tony Pollard, A.J. Dillon. You leave those guys on waivers. No show for you 2 weeks. If you leave Chuba, it's understandable with bye weeks, injuries. I get it. But he needs to be grabbed if he is, in fact, available. But as for Dalvin Cook, this is not good. And let me explain why. Dalvin Cook has had a history of shoulder injuries, and I don't know if this is the other shoulder or not, but he has had, so when you tear your labrum, your shoulder pops out of the socket, and it's kind of like, if I could explain it here, it's kind of like, let's use this. Here's the ball and socket, you have the ball and socket, it's not coming out, right? Because your shoulder and the labrum are holding it in. Think of it like almost like a seal, okay? Your labrum's like a seal. It's thick enough and strong enough to keep the ball and socket together. And so he's popped this out several times. And when you pop it, you tear it. It's kind of like I wish I had an example. Let's see if I can grab a piece of paper. So here's a good analogy, at least. It doesn't look like this, but the labrum's keeping that ball and socket together. When you pop your shoulder out, watch this. That's what's essentially happening in theory. It's a little different looking, obviously, but that's when you take your shoulder and put it out. So they're going to put his ball and socket back in. If it doesn't heal, what do you think is going to happen? If you just put it in, torn labrum, what's going to happen? If the ball turns a certain way, it's going to slip out like a puzzle piece. It no longer has that containment that the labrum, a healthy labrum, is creating, like a seal that helps make it too small of an area for the bigger ball part of the ball and socket to slide out. Now you have this torn labrum. The question is, how much is it torn? Is it torn like this? And if they put it back in, a little bit of surgery, which could be a 2, 3, 4 week situation if they can't heal it through therapy. But if it's just a little tear and it slipped out just the right way, and they can literally put it back in, and even without surgery, just therapy, it's hard for it to come out. Even with a little tear, it has to go just the right way and in the right movement. He could potentially come back really, really quick, right? And have the risk of popping it out again. Because if there is a way and an opening for the ball to come out and you don't have surgery, you could easily pop out that ball again, because the pathway, the opening, the labrum has opened that avenue for it to come out. It's not like you could just put it back in and it's back to normal. That sucker can't come out. You have a tear there. You could rehab it. You could put it back in. He could be protective with it. But he's carrying a football getting hit. And the problem, though, is he's done this 1, 2, and I'm not positive on the shoulder, but it's got to be the same one, right? 3 times. What does his labrum look like at this point? I don't see how. Like, I'm predicting here. I don't know. What's everyone saying here? Damn, Smitty. Thanks. That's the ultimate slap to the face. Fumble. Getting injured on the same play. Yeah, it's bad. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. All I can tell you is this is going to be a tough one. A tough one to come back from very, very fast. Very, very fast. It's going to be hard. He's going to be hard pressed to hit the field within 2 weeks, I would say. Overcome with a super chat. Thank you for the super chats. Jackson, thank you for the super chat. Overcome, thank you for the super chat. Johnny, thank you for the super chat. I'll get to these in 1 second. Let me just break this news down, and then we'll get to all these super chats. I'm going to put you in the corner here. You guys are loaded up, ready to go. So, how long is he out, Smitty? How long is he out? I don't know. It depends on his labrum. You know? Maybe we'll have one of my doctor boys on here to explain it in even further details. I would be glad to get them on and to discuss what this is looking like for Dalvin Cook, but it's not looking good. If I had to guess that his labrum needs to be repaired by surgery because his labrum has torn several times. This is not a one-time occurrence where it slipped out. There's a little itty bitty tear. This dude's labrum probably looks like this. It's probably ripped to shreds. Is there a chance that he plays in 2 weeks? Yeah, but here's what I think happens. If this man tries to play on a very damaged shoulder and torn labrum that is torn more than you or I. Like if you or I had our shoulder come out of socket, we tore a little bit of our labrum, it might be a little piece that allowed it to slip out and that you put the ball socket back in, or you connect the ball and socket again, and it'd be hard pressed to get out again. It's going to get out a little easier, right? But if you heal it, it'll be fine. This guy's got to have a tear like no other, in my opinion. In my guess, I'm totally guessing, but he's had so many torn labrum injuries or shoulder popping out scenarios that it's got to be damaged. It's got to be damaged. Hit the thumbs up on your way in. I'm going to guess that if he tried to come back in 1 or 2 weeks, he's just going to injure it again. Like he's going to literally go out there, same game, it's going to pop out again with one bad hit. I don't see how he comes back and has a top 5 running back season without getting hurt again if he rushes back within 1 or 2 games. I think he's probably out 2 or 3 games, at least 1 or 2, and then whether he comes back or not too early is up to him. But I don't see how he comes back in enough time for the next 1 or 2 weeks. I just don't see it. So it appears to be Alexander Mattison's season. Alexander Mattison is ready to rumble. Can't believe that CMC news. What an unlucky guy. Says Engage. I mean, I don't know if it's luck, bro. It's about the body breaking down. Like that's the thing is Engage. A lot of people say that like unlucky. Look at Saquon. Saquon's ankle injury was unlucky. Smitty, that ankle injury, it could have happened to anybody. Saquon Barkley is not injury prone, Smitty. Saquon Barkley is going to be fine. These aren't all unlucky injuries, though. These are not all unlucky injuries. Even Saquon's ankle injury wasn't bad luck. It was him recklessly putting his body in that position. I don't want to hear Saquon Barkley's ankle injury was luck. I don't want to hear it. Go watch the play. He recklessly runs right into a lineman and steps down. It's his own doing. Anybody can sprain their ankle. I'm not saying all ankle sprains can be prevented. But if you go watch the actual play, that was Saquon Barkley's fault. His ankle injury was his fault. And he's a very injury-prone player moving forward. No matter what you want to say about Saquon Barkley, he's not going to deliver what you want or what you've hoped for. Now he busts again this week. Now Saquon Barkley has his offense in shambles. Saquon Barkley's quarterback vultures touchdowns. There's no direction for this team right now. And Saquon Barkley is now got week 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 to try and salvage the value that anybody paid on him. Mattison season's here. No, the Barkley one was unlucky. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I just explained it, Avi. CMC leg looks like wet paper bags. Bro, I don't trust him. Dynasty value. Let's talk about both their dynasty values, then we'll get to the super chats. Ozzy, I appreciate you. Good buddy. I'm going to put your super chat right here. Not in my top 10. Not in my top 10. Dalvin Cook, not in my top 10. Neither one of these guys are in my top 10 dynasty. I would rather draft wide receivers. I would rather draft a Jamar Chase. I would rather draft a plethora of wide receivers. Any of my top 6 wide receivers in dynasty over these guys. I would rather have a Patrick Mahomes in dynasty over both of these guys because of what a quarterback like Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes bring to the table for, a decade long. No injury worry there. These guys will disappoint you in dynasty. It is Alexander Mattison season. This is why we drafted Alexander Mattison. We did it for a reason. And Alexander Mattison, my friend.
You've just been Smitty approved.
And that trade Zeke Elliott text has been up there on the board for a while now. That Zeke Elliott text has been up there for a while now. Hopefully you guys have traded Zeke Elliott. Hopefully you're not sitting on Zeke Elliott. I mean, we've been talking about that forever. Chat, is Zach Ertz a starter for the rest of the season? Yes. CMC owner here, but got Chuba and Mattison. Nice demolition way to potentially salvage everything by having Mattison. DK and Russ for Heineke down 14. Do I get the win? DK and Russ down 14. Yeah. I'd take you in that race. 180 of you in here. Please punch the thumbs up. Ozzy, I got offered Monty and Deonta Foreman for Pollard. Man. You have Zeke, but don't need Pollard this week since I smashed Mattison. Okay. I mean, this is a weird one. Like you're dividing up your running back stable there. I'm assuming this is redraft. Monty should be a tear down the stretch, but the whole Nagy stench has to be removed, cleansed, and taken out of the facility, bro, before Monty, I think, bounces back. So this is a tough one. I almost feel like if news breaks that Zeke Elliott's going on IR and out 3 weeks minimum, you're going to be kicking yourself because Pollard is going to be better than Monty, and Pollard would probably remain very, very involved even upon an Elliott return. So I can't really answer this with ultra confidence, bro, because I have no clue whether Monty's or whether Zeke is going to be placed on IR yet. Let's go to the news real quick and just see what's up and if there's anything relating to Monty right now. So according to news, back to the news again. McCaffrey out for the season. Cook's shoulder isn't season ending, everyone's saying, but I'm telling you, it's not good. It's not good. Why everyone's talking about it like it's a good thing? And then you have people just regurgitating that. Like somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about with injuries is going to look at this and go, Cook's shoulder not season ending. Let me talk about it very one-dimensionally. That's great. His shoulder got popped back in. It's like Lethal Weapon. He put his shoulder up against the wall, popped it back in, and now he's coming back. It's about pain, a pain tolerance thing, Smitty. Somebody who doesn't know anything about injuries is going to take that like, this is good news. It's not good news. He tore his labrum. He tore his labrum, likely on a shoulder. He's tore it multiple times, and that thing's going to pop in and out like a bad remote control. You know how your remote control case never stays on once it starts coming off? Like you're like, and it always falls off. The remote control back end where the battery is always falls off. You throw it onto the bed, it falls off. That's a similar, very weird but relatable analogy to the labrum tear. Is that it's not tight anymore. You know, it's and with his history, he's in trouble. If he tries to come back, he is going to be in trouble. Rob with a super chat. Appreciate that, good buddy. I'm going to put you right here, and then we're going to get to you. So, to answer this question, Tony Pollard, I don't know. I want to say yes, in theory, getting Monty is a good move, but the moment Zeke Elliott, I'm just telling you, the moment Zeke Elliott, if he does hit IR for whatever reason, then you're going to regret it. And so I can't really, Smitty, approve this trade. I can only tell you I could see it going either way. I think if Pollard is a starter, he's worth more. So that's all I can tell you. You have to be kind of predictive in that. And until until Monty gets fed right and used properly, which probably won't happen right away, you know, he could be a tear down the stretch. I do like Monty. I don't mind this trade. If you got a gut instinct that Monty's going to get turned around right now, then do it. I do think Monty could get turned around for sure. Let's ask the chat. Chat, do you like Monty or do you like Tony Pollard? Yeah, engage. It's like Lethal Weapon. Pop it back in. It's fine. It's fine. Do you know why? Let me tell you this. For people that want to know why, well, why do people, when they pop their shoulder out for a party trick and then they can pop it back in, why can they do that? They're okay. They're not okay. Do you realize that if I've never tore my labrum, okay? I've never popped my socket, my ball and socket apart in my shoulder. It's a ball and a socket that's tight, like I explained earlier, like this. I have never popped my ball out of my socket, and most of you probably haven't either. If you've ever watched the movie Lethal Weapon, where Mel Gibson always pops his, you know how much pain he's in too. He always pops his shoulder out, or if he ever gets in a fight, it's out and then he needs to pop back in. People say, well, hey, you can pop it out and put it back in. Like there's movies where people do that. Yeah, there's a reason why Mel Gibson's in a fight and he lands wrong and it comes out because he has tore it. And now it goes in and out like that. He can do a party trick with it. And Dalvin Cook could do a party trick with it too. Dalvin Cook could go to a party, pull his shoulder out. Everybody give me $5 for a party trick. Here we go. Put it on the table. Okay, we got $45 collected. Ready? Pop it out. Go up to the wall, pop it back in. Because it's torn. You have the ability to do that. It's like having like a knuckle that you can snap out of joint. Once you can do it, you can continue to do it. That's a bad thing for Dalvin Cook. It's torn. And you can do party tricks when it's torn. Let me show you how to pop it out of socket. I'll put it right back in. It's that kind of thing that he's dealing with, where it's torn and there's an opening, and like your remote control back end that slides on and off without any kind of friction, it just falls off. His ball will pop out of the socket until it gets repaired. So what do we say here? Does anybody like Pollard league winner? Zeke goes IR, says Blake. Who else likes Pollard over Monty? Please drop it for Ozzy. Let's give Ozzy a little bit of help. This question was from Thomas. Trade away Mark Andrews and Mike Williams for Godwin and Russell Wilson. I have Kelsey, 2 QB league. My QBs are Herbert and Cam and Heineke. Cam's tough because Cam's either going to be still okay because they'll start him again and he can score touchdowns, or he's going to fall apart. I kind of like the idea of getting Russell Wilson and Godwin. You've already got, I don't know, you didn't say if it's a tight end premium. Sometimes tight end premium leagues correlate with the quarterback, the 2 QB league stuff. So that could make this question a little harder to answer. But on its face, from what you've written and from what we talked about, Thomas, I would like to see you get Godwin and Russell Wilson in a 2 QB league. I think Godwin is easily arguable against either Andrews or Mike Williams by themselves, and in a 2 QB league, so is Russell Wilson. So essentially, you could be getting the 2 best players in the deal. Rock out with a super chat. Rock out, appreciate you, good buddy. Smitty, bad week for me. CMC out and Swift got hurt, but so my top 2 backs got injured the same week. Rock out. Could you not get rid of CMC? I forget what you'd told me about on that front. Like you tried or you didn't want to. I forget. I have him in one league. I couldn't get rid of CMC in one league. It was a Dynasty league. I tried and I couldn't, so I held him. So it's not, if you still have CMC and you suffered injury, it's not like you didn't listen, or I'm not trying to paint that picture for anybody. I do have Christian McCaffrey in one Dynasty league. I couldn't get rid of him for anything. In other leagues, I was able to. I had him in 2 other leagues. I have him in one redraft league I just don't have time for. So I didn't even try and trade him in that one because I have 22 leagues. So it happens, bro. It happens. But I'm sorry about that. Hopefully you got Mattison. Let's see. I'll keep reading. Last 2 weeks was getting low offers, but got Mattison, Hubbard, Javonte Williams. I think you rebound, Rock out. I think you rebound, bro. Just got back from Hawaii. Oh, I just actually knocked his super chat out. Whose was that? Rob, so who are the top 3 picks going into next season? Just curious. The top 3 picks going into next season. How did my picks do, by the way? Remember when I predicted these? Let's go over this real quick. Let's go over this real quick. Tampa Bay. So, big win. What happened to that pen? Tampa Bay, big win. Jets won this game, so I missed that one. Eagles lost. I missed that one. Carolina lost. Missed that one. Wow. New England won. I got that one. Bengals won. Got that one. Jags lost. Chargers lost. This is a rough week. Green Bay won. San Francisco won. Baltimore they won, but I don't know if we call it a win. And then we'll find out on that one. Miss Smitty said Washington. So that was Miss Smitty's call. So that was a brutal showing there. Okay. Top 3 picks. Oh, man. This pen is leaking everywhere. Hold on. Top 3 picks in 2022 would be Taylor. 2 would be Najee. Is 3 Cup? Is it Hill? Is it a running back? You guys decide. Tell me who your number 3 overall is walking into 2022 redraft. While I get to these super chats, Ozzy Wilson Jr. still a keep or a drop. Probably a keep depending on what you got going on, bro. It depends on what you got going on. I would say like end of the bench. I don't mind him there. Mitchell could get hurt. I mean, look what the running backs are doing. Who do you guys like at that number 3 spot? 5 points to win tonight. Need a flex play. Pick one. Logan Thomas or DJ Dallas. Probably, God. Guys, what do you think? DJ Dallas or Logan Thomas? I'm going to say DJ Dallas scores a touchdown. No, Tex. Not Henry, bro. I mean, trust your gut. Eckler 3. Kamara or Eckler. Kelsey, number 3. Patterson. like hey, Mighty Buffoon, I'm not laughing. Like I think you're probably joking, but like he's been playing that good. Like he deserves the look. Chase, Eckler, Kamara. Yeah, Kamara is tough to not put there, but he's also tough to put there, if you know what I mean. Like it's an equally tough proposition. I would say it's between Kamara and Eckler or wide receiver. You know, the wide receiver 1. Honestly, I think the top 12 have 4 wide receivers in round 1 in 2022. 4 wide receivers going round 1 minimum. Rough week, lost CMC, but managed to hold Mattison the entire season and traded for CEH last week. I have Harris and Hubbard. I think you'll be okay. I think you'll be fine. I appreciate your super chat. I think you'll be okay. But it's tough, man. CMC's a big loss. So who are the top 3 picks? Gotcha. Rob says, curious. And Patterson, what round do we take him in 2022? I would imagine if he finishes the way he's playing, he's going to be like a 2nd round pick, but it's risky, man. I'm going to have so much risk content in 2022. You don't even know what's coming, Rob. You don't even know what's coming. What I'm about to drop on all you, it's going to be amazingness. The risk stuff that I'm going to drop. And he's going to have a lot of risk because he doesn't have a track record, or he has a track record of not doing what he's doing right now. So it's a big risk walking into 2022. Think Gibson and how we didn't have a track record for Gibson in college. And there was 1 year and then a bunch of risk. Gibson could turn it around, be very, very productive, but there's real risk involved in trusting. I held Mattison after losing Henry, and I thought my season was done, but I may be able to make the playoffs now. Should I grab Hilliard off waivers? Yes, Hilliard's probably the number 1 waiver wire guy for week number 13. Maddie McMattison says overcome. Maddie McMattison. Abdullah had more touches, snaps, targets though, says Jackson. Jackson, thank you for the super chat. Let me make sure I get to everybody's super chats. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, McCall. I think DJ Dallas. But guys, what do you think, DJ Dallas or Logan Thomas? Help a brother out. He needs one. I got a Dallas vote. I got 1 Dallas vote. I need more votes for him. Please drop it in the chat. Rob, I got yours. 3 picks going into 2022. Thank you for that question, Rob. Ozzy, thank you. Got offered Monty and Foreman for Pollard. Thank you for that question. Overcome. Need Gibby to get 22. I think this is the one accidentally closed. Need Gibby to get 22 points tonight. Full PPR. Will the next CMC please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. Without the injuries, Gibby called himself the next CMC. Well, hopefully he's not the next CMC. Let's not tie him to CMC right now. Abdullah, I got that one. I think I'm caught up on the super chats. Thank you, Overcome, for the super chat. McMattison, Maddie McMattison, appreciate that comment. Johnny, they get Hilliard off waivers. Yes, you do. Mattison, I think I got this one. Yeah, Johnny, thank you for that super chat. 200 of you in the house. Please hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel. Hubbard and Hurts for Allen. Hubbard and Hurts for Josh Allen. I would take Josh Allen. Hurts is kind of risky right now. Smitty is Bateman, a decent wide receiver 2 in the playoffs. I'd say decent wide receiver 3, not 2. I don't know if I'll call him a wide receiver 2 yet. I got to 8-4 without CMC. Sucks, but should be okay. Sorry, Sonny. I tried to beat the trade CMC drum loud, and I don't see that guy. What's that guy's name? Nick? Where's Nick? Where's Nick? CMC running back 1. Come on, Smitty. Where are you, Nick? I don't see you. Never fails. What's up, Mr. B? Going back to the Wilson Jr. question, Swift is hurt. Need to pick up Williams. Okay, Jamal Williams for the Lions. Need to drop Bateman, Wilson Jr., or Van Jefferson or Elijah Moore. You're going to drop Eno Benjamin. Drop Benjamin. Or is that Uno? You're saying I'm dropping Uno. Gotcha. You're doing the Spanish thing with me. Yo necesito cortar un persona, Ozzy. Not Eno Benjamin. That's Uno for 1. I'm going to say drop Bateman. Bateman no necesitas. I went blank on a couple words, bro. Yo hablo muy poquito. Yo tiene 4 años en colegio, pero no practicar mucho. So, gracias, Ozzy. Okay. Even with Mitchell injured, Wilson did nothing drop him, Johnny says. That's, I can get behind that. Hilliard, rest of season, I think he's pretty solid. Flex, potential running back 3, let's go. Who are some waiver wire running backs? It's Hilliard. There's not a lot. We'll go over the waiver wire stuff tonight. I was going to do that last night, but we did the whole Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook video, which we're doing an update here. So Bateman been hurting Hollywood's overall value. Hollywood's been pretty good, but I get what you're saying. Mitchell's a beast. He is. Congrats to any of you that have Mitchell. Let's hope he stays healthy. Muy bien. Very good, bro. Thank you, Sam. So now that Cook is hurt, do I cuff Mattison with Abdullah? I mean, maybe, but Cook's probably not. He may go on IR or something like that for 3 weeks. I don't know. When they say Cook's not done for the season, what does that mean? Does that mean Cook's not done for the season, like if they need him in the playoffs? Like, what? People are taking that as if he's going to be fine in 1 week. I don't think he is. As my Labrum example, like that sucker's shot. What's holding that ball into that socket anymore? Nothing. How long is Dalvin Cook out for? We don't know. I would guess 2 to 3 weeks minimum, and that's if he rushes back and puts himself at risk again. 10-man, full PPR, 7-5, afterthought. Hurts, Cook, Sanders, Diggs, Waddle, Kittle, Javonte, Bench, Hawkinson, Dillon, Henry. What trades do I make? Bro, I don't know at this point what you can do other than to try and get rid of Kittle or Diggs on the high. Try and buy McLaurin and a running back. McLaurin and upgrade Sanders. McLaurin, try and trade Cook hurt. Try and trade Kittle and McLaurin on the high, or Kittle and Diggs on the high. Javante's going to gain value for you soon. Dillon, Mattison. I mean, you could be okay. AJ Brown and Henry. You've had some injuries, bro. Hopefully Mattison and Dillon and those guys step up for you too, though. Daniel says, Smitty traded my Mixon for Cook and Mattison last week. Am I still good? I'd rather have Mixon right now. but Mattison could get there, but we just don't have clarity on what's going on yet. So it's kind of like, we could pretend we know Mattison's starting for 4 weeks, but we don't really know that. So we don't know what's going on. What if Cook goes out there and you're like, what do I do? Cook's going to play 2 weeks after this and get hurt mid-game, and then you're stuck with no points. I like Mixon more. Mixon's playing good. Mixon's a top 5 running back right now. And that's coming from a guy that has doubted him on and off his whole career for good reason. He hasn't showed up consistently. But right now, time to adjust and adapt and call Mixon what he is, which is a top 4 to 7 running back. He could float anywhere in there. I do have to run. I appreciate all you. If you have any questions, post it in the comments. I will get to everybody within the next 12 to 24 hours. If you super chatted me and I didn't get to you, scream, I asked you a super chat, Smitty. Smitty, I super chatted. Answer me. And I will answer your super chat. Just ask me in the comments. I'll get to all questions in the next 24 to 48 hours. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for making the show, the Fantasy Football Show, the best fantasy football show, the best show on the planet. I appreciate all of you. This is the last one, and I got to go. 7-4 with CMC. Swift might lose this week, up by 20.6, but the team I'm playing has Gibby, Lockett playing tonight, full PPR. Gibby, Lockett up 20. That could be neck and neck. That could be close. That's Vegas close, bro. Okay, later. If you punch your super chat on my way out, please tell me in the comments, and I will get to you.